welcome back to the Cocco channel and to another video. This is going to be a fun one. I wanted to do an assumptions tag. Okay, listen, just listen. Raw Beauty Christy is my favorite YouTuber of all time. I love her, I'm obsessed. I feel like her and I would be best friends. We would be the two best friends that anyone ever had. We're very similar in personality, and she has a quite a potty mouth on her. I try not to say any curse words on my channel. I just try. I'm not saying I don't cuss in real life. I try not to bring it here to where she gives no fluffs. So her and I don't know, just some of her answers to the questions that or assumptions that she got, I was like, yes, yes, yes. So she's done 2 of these now, and each time she's done one, I'm like, I want to do one of those. So I went over on Instagram and literally begged you guys to give me your assumptions about me. I don't know why people hate filling out those boxes when it's like questions like Q&As. I get just very minimal, and this was actually much better than a Q&A. I got quite a few more. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Calissa Crawford, my girl, says that you like coffee ice cream. I don't. I love coffee. I drink coffee all day long. There's literally sitting one right there. I've actually backed off. I've tried to limit myself to 2, but sometimes it's more than that. However, with ice cream, my favorite flavor, I'm not really a sweets person, believe it or not. I know you wouldn't tell. I'm like a savory kind of gal. I like food. It has to be like that time, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And my favorite ice cream flavor, usually when we're out and about, like my safety is cookie dough. I always get cookie dough. So I tried ice cream that is flavored as coffee, but not my favorite. Jay Vaughn says that you put everyone else's needs, wants, or just feelings before your own. Oh, Julie. That is my girl, Julie. I do. I struggle. Since I've been going to church, I've put more of a biblical stance on it, and they call it like the fear of man. And I give myself like guilt trips. If like I'm doing something for myself, I'll sit there and think like, is there someone else that needs help right now? Is there something else that it has to be done? But at the same time, I'm a creative person, and so I'm never not doing something that is a personal task. So it's kind of like a constant battle with, you know what I mean, making sure everyone else's needs are taken care of, but also I find myself slipping down that black hole of, I hate to say depression, but it is, if I'm not doing something creative and like that I can put my self into, if that makes sense, that doesn't have anything to do with my family and doesn't have anything to do with the house or the kids or, you know, anything like that. So I would say yes and no. I do and I don't. I think Calissa got a little bit confused because she said being tired at this point is a personality trait. Being thin is fine, but curvy is more fun with cupcakes. She also said that you're a tummy sleeper, and I'm not. I'm a side sleeper. I have to sleep in the fetal position with a pillow in between my legs, hugging, and one under my head. Just in case you wanted to know my sleeping situation. Polished Lab Rat, which is my girl Larissa, said you were popular in high school. It's funny because I think Christy was asked the same question, and my answer is almost exactly the same, and I really wasn't like popular. I hung out with popular kids, but I was bullied. I was made fun of a lot for my weight. I was a chunky girl, and there was just, you know, I didn't have like a serious boyfriend in high school. I didn't, I don't know. I had like a good group of girlfriends. High school was a crazy time because I went to this high school in this itty bitty little town in Arkansas. My freshman year I was in Vegas, and the high school I went to was gigantic, so there wasn't like a ton of cliques really for freshmen, you know what I mean? I hung out with girls that I knew. KP, Christina, was the only person that I knew going into high school. I made some other friends, but it wasn't like a gigantic group. And then we moved after my freshman year that summer to Eureka Springs High School, where everybody was in a clique and everybody pretty much grew up together. I kind of hung out with like the black sheep, if you will, especially sophomore and junior year. Senior year, I kind of just stuck to myself. kept to myself because junior year summer, one of the girls in my group died, and we all took it terribly, and that's like a whole other story. But yeah, I was bullied a lot for my weight, and I wouldn't consider myself popular, even though I went to like all the parties and I hung out with popular kids. I don't know. I was definitely like that class clown. My grades slipped, and I was smart. My favorite subjects were English and math. I was really good at it. I sucked at science, and I sucked at history big time. And I wasn't stupid, you know, but I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself popular at all. Beth Wade said, I assume that you want one more baby, just one. I hate to say this out loud because man plans and God laughs directly into your face, because, you know, he is the creator of all plans, but I really don't. Andrew and I have been talking about this, and even my mom has been asking me, like, so are you guys gonna have another one? Like, I don't know if they're hinting at we're getting old or what the case is, but I really don't. I was thinking about this the other day, like, if I fell pregnant right now, you don't just fall pregnant, you know what I mean? If I were to be pregnant right now, like, I don't have a good feeling about it. Like, I wouldn't be, like, overly excited. Just the thought of 3 children and like where we are right now, and Andrew just got home and him and I are still reconnecting. He's still reconnecting with kids, and the house is like nice. Like, obviously if I were to become pregnant, if some miracle happened, we'll just call it that, I wouldn't be like upset or mad at the baby or anything like that. Just if like you were to plan it yourself, like, no, I wouldn't want another baby. Claudia Elkson says you're extremely hardworking and driven. I would have to agree with that, and not in like a cocky way, but just like it's almost stubbornness. Like, once I get an idea in my head and I want to do something, I make sure that I cross every T and dot every I in order to make it come true. I never like expect it to just happen. I know, I find out the steps, I research, you know what I mean? Like, anytime I'm working on something like a project or anything like that, like, I do it to the max if I can. So I would definitely say that I am. Misa Mendoza, one of my faves, said, you have always been a confident person. That's not true at all. Growing up, I had an older brother, and he bullied me into the ground. Like, he was terrible. And it was physical and emotional. Again, a whole other subject. But he like had the whole entire neighborhood convinced that my mom lived in Minnesota and I was adopted because my mom was a cow. So like, kids used to moo at me and stuff, like, so it started at home and just transferred into school and stuff like that. And so I wasn't confident. I would say I became confident after marrying Andrew. And I know that sounds really cheesy and corny and, you know, everything like that, but I'm telling you, there's like, you know, you have to give yourself the power to think a certain way. But I definitely think that there's factors that help you get to that point. And for me, it was Andrew. Like, Andrew just completely and totally accepted me as I am, as I was, you know what I mean? Like, and even as we've grown older and changed and I've gotten fatter, you know what I mean? Like, have stretch marks and my boobs are saggier than they should be, or, you know, whatever the case is, like, Andrew has never made me feel anything less than amazing and beautiful. And so like, once I think that you recognize other people see that, like, you can see it yourself. There's obviously days where I still struggle and I have still flashbacks of like weight problems. You would think after, you know, being bullied and it being pointed out your whole entire life that, you know, you would be on a different path, but I went, because of that, down a really scary path of, you know, eating disorders. And, you know, this is turning out really dark. I have some really dark stories and dark times in my life, but I think everybody does. But back to the question about being confident, I don't feel like I became confident until honestly after I got married. Like I said, I never had serious relationships. I had maybe 2 serious boyfriends in my entire life before I got married, and one was a terrible situation, and the other one was when I was like kind of younger, and so like out of high school. So it wasn't, I don't know, it it didn't really happen until after I got married, and Andrew definitely helped with that. I think that once you find the right person, you do both help each other mentally and in other ways. For Andrew, like, he was a shell, you know what I mean? Or he wasn't a shell, that sounds really stupid, but he was just like kind of quiet, and he still is. He's quiet, reserved, but I definitely think he's more social, and, you know, I put him in more social situations, and, you know, that's helped him. And, you know, I don't know. I haven't been confident until after I got married, because you kind of feel like you're already taken and you have this person that loves you unconditionally no matter what. At least that's how it's supposed to be. And I really hope and pray that each and every one of you have that, or if you don't yet, if you're younger, you will. You know, there's nobody left to really, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's obviously people that you have to impress in certain situations if you're, you know, for jobs or anything like that, but I don't know. I just carry myself differently, knowing that, like, I have that love at home and I'm not trying to impress anyone. And, you know, I think that once you show confidence, your kids pick up on that. I think that other people pick up on that, and it just serves you well if you're a little bit on the more confident side, not cocky. Misa also said learning makeup was easy for you. No. I wonder if I could find some like older pictures, although the picture quality from years ago wasn't great, just to show you that I wasn't always good. I don't even feel like I'm great right now. I feel like I know how to do makeup on myself. Like, if you told me to apply makeup on somebody else, I don't think it would go great. I think in the last maybe 3 years, because I've been doing it so long and repetitive, and doing it on camera has definitely helped. You apply it more and you apply it different ways, because you can't just show the same look all the time. I think that has definitely helped me. So I would say I've gotten good in the last like 3 to 4 years, maybe. Makeup Lover, which is Miss Nessa, says that everyone wants to be your best friend because you're so sweet. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I sometimes have trouble not finding friends. I didn't have any. I had maybe 2, 3 friends the whole entire 6 years that I was living in DC. I have sometimes hard time finding friends. Maybe because I am so sweet. I find that to be true. And I've been told that I'm so nice that I let people walk over me a lot of times, and then I get really mad once it hits like that boiling point. So then I just like cut all ties. I'm like, you know, you've done this enough and I'm done. House of Taylor says you're very romantic and love to dress up on date night, even if it's just a night in. Half of that is true. I'm very romantic. I am a romantic through and through. I love romance. Not in that way. Just, you know, movies and like books and ideology of like romanticism. And I do love to dress up if we're going out. However, if we're doing like a date night at home, Andrew loves like comfy, cozy. No, he prefers me like no makeup, hair. His favorite hairstyle is like a messy bun. And so no, I don't dress up even if we're staying at home. If we're going out, you best believe I'm dressing to the nines. Rays of Sunshine said you cry when you are mad, but are silent when you are truly sad. And that is so true. Holy moly, did you read me like a book? I cannot express anger any other way than silently crying. Which makes me even more mad, which makes me cry even more. I'm not a person that like lashes out and like screams and yells and like curses people out or anything like that. Maybe when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, like if, you know, something really bad happens or something that really upsets me with somebody or a situation, I literally like, I can feel it in the back of my throat. I just like immediately start tearing up when I get upset and stuff like that. You guys have seen it. So that is very true. Susie Polish says you enjoy watching kid shows when your kids aren't around. I do like Disney and stuff like that, but I'm not a TV watcher. If you didn't know, or if you're new, I do a lot of things. I have a small business. I run a YouTube channel. I run Instagram. I'm starting a podcast with a friend. And so I don't have time for TV. I don't sit down and watch TV. It's very rare. The only time I do is with Andrew. Like him and I will start certain shows. Like we started The Boys on Amazon. Do not start that if you do not like crude stuff. That is very crude. There's a lot of adult content in that thing. But we've watched like all of The Walking Dead, although they just released a new season on Netflix, so we'll have to start that. Just stuff like that. Like that's the only time I watch TV is when it's with Andrew. I don't sit and watch TV with my kids hardly ever, unless it's like Blippi or we've been watching some Halloween stuff lately because it's like that time, and we'll start watching Christmas stuff. Like that's the only time that I really invest in TV time with my kids. I do other stuff with them, like I read books and we go on walks and you know what I mean, stuff like that, go out and about. I don't consider like sitting in front of the TV with them to be like my quality time with them. That's just me personally. I'm not saying that if you sit there, you know, that's just, it's not our thing. Farmhouse AF, which is my sweet friend Miss Denia, said, you snort if someone makes you laugh hard. Yes, I do that like silent, like yeah, I do. Anna Castillo says, you're a girly girl, afraid of spiders, don't want to break a nail, etc. I wouldn't consider myself a girly girl. I am afraid of bugs, but like lizards don't scare me. I go camping. I don't care about breaking a nail. I don't care about leaving the house without makeup. I don't care about, you know what I mean, like wearing grungy clothes if I'm like, depending on like the situation, obviously, like going to the store and stuff like that. I don't care if I'm in tennis shoes and you know what I mean, my hair is up and I look a mess or anything like that. I don't care about getting dirty. However, I do love to clean up. Like I love wearing makeup. I love having my nails painted. I don't like, you know what I mean, get super bummed if I break a nail. I just cut them all off. So yes and no. Amateur Nail Art 1 says, you have a special stash of sweets that you hide from the rest of your family. No, like I said, I'm not a sweets person unless it's that time. Like the other day, I powered through a Twix bar in like 4 bites, literally took 2 bites out of each stick because I'm like, chocolate. But that's the only time I really want sweets. Like I don't have to have dessert. I know that there are plenty of people that like their night is not finished until they have dessert. My husband's kind of like that. And he loves sweets. Him and my dad, like they like their donuts and you know what I mean, like coffee cake and banana bread. And that's not my jam. Like my jam is like pizza and some more pizza. If I could live off of pizza, I totally would. But I also really love salads. Like Caesar salad is my jam. Again, not the healthiest one, but just saying. Rancho La Flor, Miss Katie said, I assumed you were tall. That is false. She said, you're a cutie patootie, short and sassy. I am 5'2" and a half. The half counts. I'm not tall at all. Lacquered Mizzy, my good friend Miss Myra, says you're always happy, bubbly. I would say I'm about 80-20. Again, with like the confidence thing, I think that puts people at ease, being like happy and funny and like, it's so funny. Robbie Christie said that she's always been that, like that's me. I'm overly animated. Like how you see me on camera is how I am in real life. It's no different. You can ask some of the people that have met me in real life on here. They'll tell you like, what you see in real life is me in person. I'm like that in public. I'm like that in home. I dance in public. I sing in public. You know what I mean? I don't do bodily functions in public or anything weird like that, but I'm very animated. I'm trying to make people laugh and feel comfortable all the time. Like that's always on my mind, that if I'm goofy and weird, people are gonna be like, oh, okay, she's cool. You know what I mean? Like I can relax. I don't have to be, you know, false pretense. I don't want to say fake. Like I just want everyone to be relaxed all the time. So I am. I'm always happy and bubbly. But that's not to say that like I don't have bad days. I cry. I get mad. I yell at my kids. I spank my children a lot. I spank my children a lot. I spank my husband a lot. No, but I mean, everybody has good and bad days. But I would say I'm more on the happy, bubbly side than I am like a serious kind of lady. I'm always smiling. I'm always laughing. We did this exercise in our Fit and Faith class that if you could describe yourself in one word picture, what would it be? And so there was like one lady who was like, she was a what is that, dream catcher. There was one lady who was like one of the Liberty like balance, you know, things. There was one girl who was like a ballerina because she's like always prim and proper and just like upright and you know what I mean, like very elegant, and I was like, I am the laugh crying emoji. That's me. That's me in a nutshell. Stacy Reed said, you're super down to earth and easy to talk to. I definitely think so. Like I said, because I'm so like animated and, you know, like, hey, how's it going? And I'm very approachable, or I'll approach you and just say, hi, how are you? I'm not that person that sits and waits for somebody to come talk to me usually. I'm very like, hi, how are you? I love, you know, I try and pay 10 people a compliment a day, and that's like a really good icebreaker. And so I definitely feel like I'm very easy to talk to, and I've been told that in the past. She also said, you and your husband are great communicators with each other. I would say so. It's much better than we very first started. Andrew would get like so mad at me and not say a thing that it would take like weeks to figure it out. And he would obviously not be mad weeks later, but he would tell me like weeks later, like, yeah, I was mad because of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, something that stupid? Like, you cannot just tell me. But I'm used to be, I probably still am, an over communicator. Any little thing, I'm like, you know, I really wish you wouldn't do such and such. Like, can you not back the car up into the driveway? Like, it's just ridiculous. You know, so we've definitely gotten better over the years. Like, I try not to let as much stuff like come out of my mouth, because he is like a more reserved, silent type, and he has definitely tried to communicate more. If something does upset him and bother him, like, I'm not a mind reader, you gotta tell me, you know. So I definitely think that it's something that comes with time. It's not something that's given when you get married. It's something learned and taught, and you go through trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying? So we're 8 years in and doing grand. So that's it. That's all the assumptions, but this video is 20 minutes long, so that's good enough. Thank you everyone to put those in. I really, really appreciate it. I know there was like some darker stuff in there, and I've always like mentioned that I want to do a story time on like some of the high school stuff and some of the, like the childhood stuff, but I just don't think that I'm in the spot to do that right now, just because I really like the flow of this channel, and it's really good and positive for the most part. And yeah, the story times will come back one day when I feel like I need to sit and get that off my chest. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Brittany Cocco. You are watching the Cocco channel. I so appreciate you being here, and it really would mean a lot to me if you did subscribe and become a member of the Cocco family. I know time is not something we have a ton of, so any that you decide to spend here really does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. So that's it. I'm gonna sign off, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. You're welcome. All of the bloopers that you guys see are always in the beginning, because I don't know what I'm doing. Howdy, how are ya? Hey, how's it going? But I don't think I got, well, I don't think I'm really good at, what? Oh my gosh. I feel like I haven't filmed in forever. And so any that you spend is, what? Okay, we have quite a few to get through, so let's get started. Holy moly, there are quite a few. Okay, let's just wait for that water, shall we? As I'm bragging on my husband. I know.